Hey guys, welcome back. Hope everyone's having a great 4th of July. Mine has been lazy to say the least, but it's been nice. It's been quiet. Went to a party yesterday, so yeah, I'm not digging being out on the roads today. Just me and the pups. So anyway, let's see if we can't get a message for y'all today. And we're using tarot today. We're using the Celtic or Celtic, whichever way you want to pronounce that. I've heard it pronounced both. I have no preference, really. All right, here we go. Queen of Cups. All right, look at you guys. She is the queen of her emotions. She honors her emotions, but she does not drown in her emotions. She's very nurturing. She helps when it's needed, but she doesn't help to the point of crippling you, right? She is the nurturer. She's the healer. And yeah, that's awesome. I love that. And then the star. Jesus, you guys. My goodness. So the star is this is hope. It is clarity. It is seeing things for what they are and not for what you wish them to be. I just get when you wish upon a star, right? But she's very vulnerable, but she's not weak in that vulnerability. It's like she's actually strong in it. The thing with being vulnerable and putting all your shit out there, guys, is you take all of the power away from the person that's looking at you, as far as them what is the word I'm looking for? When they criticize you. It kind of takes the wind out of their sails if you've already admitted it. You know, and it sucks to be that vulnerable. And it can be detrimental to the latest buzzword way to say it is to give people your passwords, right? You don't want to give them a way to hurt you, but you don't want to hurt them either. So having that discernment to know how much of yourself to give and how much to keep to yourself is going to be important moving forward. And the star does that, right? She knows how much to show and how much not to show. She knows those pieces to keep covered up until they are no longer weapons against her, right? Once we've healed, then those wounds that we carried in the past, they can't hurt us anymore. And it definitely takes the wind out of people's sails, especially people that you've been dealing with for a really long time. They know your triggers, right? And those people that are less than ethical or don't really, I don't want to say don't care about you, because I think they probably do. And they may even do it out of habit. But they tend to go for the throat. You know, have you ever heard that saying, or Achilles heel, right? They know where it's at. And although probably 90 times out of 100, they will sidestep it. When they're triggered and when they've been pushed to the point of having to look at themselves and they don't want to, man, they're going to zero right in on that Achilles heel. And if you are able to keep yourself in that Queen of Cups energy and not let that emotion get to you, you know, it takes a level of healing to be able to do this, because those triggers have to be not gone, but healed. You know, you think about when you break a bowl or a cup or something, right? You can glue it back together, but there's still scars. There's still little pieces that you can see where the cracks once were. And they tend to stay a little weak in that area. But, you know, if you're using that bowl or cup or whatever, and you know it's weak in a certain area, then you're a little cautious with it. But, so just know you have weak spots, right? Even if they're healed over. And know that when they are coming at you at your Achilles heel, then it is a reflection of them, right? And if it does trigger you and it does really hurt, then thank them, because they're showing you that you have more work to do, right? Find the good in everything, not the good meaning there's something good coming out of a bad situation, but find the good in that. Okay, well, that really sucked, but it did show me what I need to work on. So it shows you your next step, right? And it helps you in your evolution of your growth. So it might not feel good, but good will come out of it eventually if you see it for what it was intended to be by the situation, right? All right, I feel like I'm talking in circles, so we're going to keep going. What advice do you have to try to stay in these energies when we are dealing with lower vibrational energies? And by lower, I don't mean worse, guys, or better or worse. It's not a better or worse. It just means that they're the people that you might be dealing with. Maybe they're not, I don't want to say as enlightened, because that still sounds like a diss on them. They're just not there yet, right? They're just at a different place in their journey. So that's what I'm trying to say. The advice would be the Page of Wands. Okay. So the Page of Wands he's a teenager, right? He's controlling the weather at this point from what I can gather. And to me, I say weather, and I feel like that means climate, right? So there's a climate to every situation that you're in. It can get heated, right? Or it can be very, somebody can act very cold, or somebody can act very passionate and hot, or somebody can act very emotional, and that'd be like rainy. So the Page of Wands has started to figure out how to, I don't want to say manipulate, but he has learned to and not even control the climate, but he's aware of the climate, right? And this is a new way of looking at things for us, right? We can feed the fire of anger. We can feed the fire of passion. We can feed the fire of happiness. Where are we going to feed that fire? Are we going to destroy the happiness by bringing our crappy attitude to the table? Are we going to destroy their crappy attitude by bringing our happiness to the table? Like, we have control of ourselves, and when we can emit that energy, see how he's kind of like throwing his magic into the mix, right? And it is literally raining pieces of his magic. Like, he's exerting more of his energy than he's allowing in. And this is not what the Page of Wands normally means, but this is the way I'm seeing it today. Normally it means it's a new project or a student or something, but I feel like it's a new way of gaining control over yourself. By having that control over yourself, you're going to be able to control the climate of the situation. You may not be able to control the other person, but if they come at you angry and losing their mind and whatnot, you don't have to react to that. And the climate doesn't have to change. You don't have to let it change your climate, right? You can expand your energy and bring the temperature level down, if you will. So control your climate. play with that. See what that feels like. You can do that with, you can practice with your animals. You can practice with yourself. You can, you could walk into a grocery store and practice on the cashier, right? Because you can tell, for the most part, what kind of mood they're in, what kind of day they're having, and just practice. See if you can't find a word or a statement or something that you can do to change the climate, and just play with that a little bit. Practice with it. See what that does to help you. And for people like me who are control freaks, well, you know what? I can't control other people, but it's something, right? It'll give you a semblance of control, but also participation, right? You don't have to just sit by and let things happen to you. You can stand by and let things happen through you, right? You can take your Christ consciousness, your godlike spirit, that which God would have you do, come always from a place of love, and see how you can make that climate the dominant one, right? We then have the Two of Swords. So it's your decision. You can decide. She doesn't look happy about this decision. And she's under the light of the moon. So she's feeling very lonely in doing this, right? Because it does put a lot of pressure on you to be the one to have to always come from the place of love. And she's not always going to make the right decision, guys. She's not. She's going to slip and she's going to fall, and she's not going to be at her 100% healed self all the time. We go back to that. There's going to be times when it gets the best of her. But every day that you wake up, you can decide what you're going to do for that day, right? What's that AA mantra? One day at a time. Just for today. It's the Reiki stating too. Just for today, I will not worry. Just for today, I will not be angry. And so forth. I'll be kind to every living thing. You make that decision every night when you go to bed, and every morning when you wake up, you can make that decision. It doesn't have to be for the rest of your life to be one way or the other. It's just for today. Because today's all that matters. And the Magician. So, he looks a little menacing to me in this one. Normally, I really like the Magician because it means you're manifesting. And I do see the as above, so below. So this is what I feel like this card is saying, guys. If your intentions with this stuff are not from a place of love, from the Queen of Cups, and you're doing it just to manipulate people, and you're doing it just to see if you can get people to do things for you and whatnot, that's dark. That's black magic. That is not good. All things from a place of love. And you have the power to make that decision every day too, right? All of these things, all of these cards, all of these energies have light and dark in them, guys. And you have to choose if it's going to be light or dark today. You've got 2 major arcana. You've got 3 of the suits in here. The only thing at this point that you're missing is, you're missing swords. No, you have swords. I'm sorry, you have no pentacles. So there's no extra energy being expended here. This is you using your emotions. You are using the climate or the destruction and creativity portion here, right? With your swords, you're using your thoughts and your communication, but there's no energy added to it at this point. And I feel like the message in that is, don't let other people's energy affect this, right? You could have somebody flip you off and you could turn this whole reading dark. Or you could be in a dark place and have somebody smile at you and turn the whole reading light. But at the end of the day, it's light or dark, and you decide. Every day you decide. Every minute, sometimes you decide. And it's a very what is the word I'm looking for? It's a huge responsibility, right? And with great power comes great responsibility. And when you realize you have this power to do this, because we all have it, you can use it for light or dark. And you probably know people that use it for dark, and you probably know people that use it for their light. And once we step into our power, our understanding of how energy works, this could be a recipe for disaster, or it could be a recipe for success. And it's really up to you on how you want to do it. It really is. What is the outcome here? What is the outcome? Actually, let's ask if we make the decision to use this for good and spread our light, what is the outcome on the good side? What is the outcome on the good side? The outcome on the good side is Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords in reverse. I wanted to turn that over and I kind of, was told not to. Stress. It says stress, mental blocks, poor judgment, or dishonesty. That's what you're going to encounter. That's not you. You're going to have to, and I just see, looking at it this way, right? It's standing alone. You might feel very alone doing this. You might feel like the rest of the world is backwards, if you will, and you feel like you're the sole person climbing this mountain that seems to never be attainable. And people are going to take advantage of this. So be aware of that. And if we use this for dark, Queen of Swords, you're going to turn into a bitch. Straight up. I mean, you're going to turn into a bitch. And the Empress. If you think too logically about this, and you use that bitch energy, you're actually going to learn. It's through failure that we learn to succeed, guys. Even when you do it in a dark way, it's still practice. It is still communicating in a different way. It's still thinking in a different way. And that's going to keep you present in the moment. And when you are present in the moment, now you've become the Empress, right? The Empress is someone who she's abundant, but she's a good, it says good parent and pregnancy, but I don't see pregnancy in this one. I see her creating her own world. You know, you can see things as light or dark, even when you slip up and you use this negatively, right? And you've brought your crap and spread that around. The fact that you understand it, you're still creating your own world. And it is your world, and it's a world that you are controlling. With the Ace, I'm gonna look that one up. I don't. Dishonesty. Don't be dishonest about how this happened, right? Don't try to trick yourself into thinking that you really did it for good when you were doing something bad. You know, the ends are not justifying the means here, guys. That's going to create karma. Know what you've done. Own what you've done. Own your shit. Own your shit. That's how you get to the Empress. Whether you are using your powers for good or bad, at the very least, admit it to yourself. If you can't admit it to anybody else, at least admit it to yourself. And don't try to backpedal it. Don't try to justify it. Don't try to do anything other than apologize for it when you're in those positions, right? That's what the Queen of Cups does. That's what the Star does, right? They own their shit. They don't let their emotions get the best of them. This is accepting your light and your dark. Knowing that you had those decisions and you made those decisions in the past and you will make them in the future. And owning it. Speak your truth. Speak your truth, whether it is good or bad. If you hurt somebody, admit it. If you were hurt by somebody, tell them. Communicate it. Don't sit in your head about it. Get it out and be the Empress that you are. All right, guys? That's your reading. Let's get a healing message, because I love my healing messages from the birthday gift. We got... Although you're still disappointed in me, I send you positive energy every day. Huh. I love that. That's the Empress. That is the Empress right there, guys. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what people think about you, because what they think about you reflects what they think about themselves, right? If you know that you're coming from a place of love and you know your heart is pure and you're sending them positive energy, then their disappointment in you is not going to matter as long as you're not disappointed in yourself, because you're the only person that matters as far as who thinks what about you. They can think whatever they want, but don't send it back from you. You know, if you want to get into a discussion about, you know, not letting their wishes come to you and return to sender and stuff like that, that's a different conversation. But regardless of what they've done or walked away or whatever, still send them positive energy. You know, when the clerk at the store is snippy with you because the customer before you was snippy with them, don't get snippy back. Don't keep it going. Tell her to have a good day. Smile at her or him. Doesn't matter. Send that positive energy regardless of what they bring to the table. And that's going to help you heal, guys. All right, I'm going to leave it there. You guys have a wonderful rest of your 4th of July. And we will talk soon. Love and light.